So I've been trying to climb a bit lately, and normally I climb with A tier decks because I find them more challenging and satisfying to play. However, a Noxian douchebag named Cyan has ruined that for all of us. So let's play an S tier deck of our own, Poppy Lulu Midrange, aka Hammer Time. Hammer Time, also known as Bandle Swarm, depending on what website you go to get your decks, is all about playing aggressive to set your opponent behind while building a massive but very replaceable board. Then creating a massive swing turn to either win the game or put your opponent in such a bad position they can't recover before you end the game. We'll get into more details starting with the champions. Lulu is what I define as a true support in Legends of Runeterra. Her ability is when she attacks, she buffs the unit directly to the right of her and grows them to a 4/4. Her level 2 instead grows the unit to a 5/5, and she gains the ability, round start, gain a fleeting pix in hand. Her whole job until the Bandlewood has been to buff someone else and in most cases die for it. But with the addition of Yordlesmith, things have changed, as now she can support someone who will in turn support her back. Yordlesmith's ability is when he attacks, all attacking units with equal to or less attack than him gains quick attack. But since attack triggers happen from left to right, Lulu will buff him before his trigger activates, allowing you to grant quick attack to Lulu and pretty much all other units in your deck, including my favorite character in all of Runeterra, Poppy. If you've been playing Legends of Runeterra as of recently, I don't need to tell you what Poppy does. She was the most banned champion in the most recent 2021 Legends of Runeterra EU Masters tournament. And for good fucking reason! Poppy's ability is on attack, she gives all attacking units with equal to or less than her power +1/+1. To put it simply, this ability is fucked. If you see my Lurker video, I talk about how Rek'Sai is a very powerful mid-range card because she is just a shit ton of raw stats for 3 mana. Not only is Poppy the exact same thing, but for 4 mana, she's more consistent, and most importantly, she spreads those stats across multiple bodies rather than just having a big body herself. The reason this is so important is because single target removal is something all regions have access to in one way or another. But board clears are almost non-existent, and the ones that do exist generally don't see any play. The strategy with this deck is Dirtle aggressively early game. Most of your units replace themselves, so losing a unit here and there is fine. Use Lulu in combination with Fleet Feather Tracker to remove key units and champions, and or combo her with Yordlesmith to force your opponents into awkward and highly favorable block. When you think the close is clear, drop Bandle City Mare to fill your board as much as possible with a Poppy and begin the victory plan. Step 1. Attack. Step 2. Rally. Step 3. Attack again. Step 4. Block. Remember, your units are very replaceable. Step 5. Repeat steps 1 to 4 until you win. And that's it. This deck is very low interaction. It wins purely by the willpower of endless snowballing. Whether it be your constant buffing or your near bottomless unit generation, this deck has gas. And in most cases you will beat them through pure attrition. A risky strat you can do is drop each of your key units on curve. On turn 2, drop Yordlesmith. Turn 3, Lulu. Turn 4, Poppy. And the next time you get the attack token, throw all 3 of them on board in order of Lulu, Yordlesmith, then Poppy. Remember, ordering is important to correctly stack your triggers. And now watch as your opponent desperately strangles to either block that attack or allow a massive amount of damage to go through. Either way, this is usually followed up by a surrender. This deck is very powerful. It's the most powerful deck I've made a video on so far, and it shows how hilariously volatile Riot's expansions are. Lulu was not played in a single deck since Targon's release, and before Beyond the Bandlewood, people were making Reddit threads about buffing the support mechanic as a whole as well as Lulu. And now, Lulu is in at least 2 S tier decks. Just goes to show, Riot does have a plan. Hopefully they have one for Katarina as well. Anyway guys, that's it for me. This video was a lot harder to make because this kind of strategy is not really my style. I like interaction, you know, control decks. But I didn't want to do 2 control decks in a row, so I thought let's climb a bit and record some S tier mid-range footage, and I didn't want to do Scion because I didn't want to add to the pile of garbage that fucking ladder has become. Hope you guys like this one. Good luck on your games, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.